panties.
And vibes.
All right, now that we got that corny intro out of the way, let's talk about the very first thing we had when it comes to either comic books, superheroes, or our introduction into getting into this. Of course, we're gonna start with our friend over here.
All right, so token, no pun intended, right? So, in terms of my understanding in terms of comics, as a kid when I was growing up, we didn't really have a lot of money, but I hung out with a lot of friends that every day we would have it set to a certain time during the summer. It's around Monday, and we would all take off and go to the local newsstand, and they would purchase comic books, and so I would come back to their house and they would sit there and read, and we would pass them along, and then they would go ahead and explain what they got out of the comic books in which they were reading at that time. And so that was my actual, first introduction of what comics were in the little small community that I had as a kid.
Just thinking about that, as you were explaining, I was thinking of the little Ernest just walking down the road, and
skinny little bro,
Skinny little bro,
skinny motherfucker,
and then it's it makes you think, because the newsstand and everything, it's a classic thing, and just pulling it off of, because that's what originally a lot of comic books for
yeah, that's true.
cities,
the newsstands where they sold everything.
Yeah, because
newsstands sold everything
outside of main cities and things like that. Majority of people got it from either Walmart didn't even sell them back then. It was either you found a good niche spot, or you got all your stuff from Food Line or something that pulled them.
Not even Food Line. Back then, it was more any store, because I remember I'm from the north here, so it's any store that would have it.
Yep, that would be your best spot.
Yeah, and it was crazy though, to say the least, because when they were getting it, they would read it, and obviously they would pass it to me, and I would look at it too as well. And then, there was a group of us, maybe 5 or 6 of us, that we would go down there, and his cousin would come into town, and so that's what we would do. We'd go to the newsstand. It was every Monday. It was every Monday.
Mondays.
Around 1 or 2, and then if they didn't get certain series, it would be on that. It would be that week on a Wednesday. And I remember we used to take that trek twice a week. We would go there during the summer, and then we would whatever comics that they were looking to come out, we would get it. We'd go back and we would sit there, we would read it, and then they would discuss what they got out of it. And then after they finished reading, I remember my friend's dad, God rest his soul, they didn't have sleeves where you could put your comments into it.
No, back then it was you have it, you have it. There was not sleeves.
So he put it in a Ziploc bag and airtight it, and I'm like,
hey,
how the hell is he gonna get back into it if he needs to? He's
ain't
gonna tear it open.
Well, that or you gotta tear it open. You can't.
But that's my understanding of
And actually, you said Mondays. We said Mondays, and I said Mondays because we go up Wednesdays. Every comic store is some free new ones. I said free. God, that's one. The free is once a year. That's in May, but every Wednesday is new comic book day.
Yeah.
So every Wednesday, that's what I say Mondays. I'm like, when did they change that? Because I would have loved it on Mondays. That would have made Mondays better, to be honest.
So on Wednesday, when we were kids, and it was crazy because we all used to live around the corner from each other. But every Monday, I remember like it was yesterday, we would get together, and then we would walk to the local newsstand, and then they would actually go and check and see if there were certain comics that got there on Wednesday, if they didn't get a chance to go on that Wednesday. But we went twice a week. We went Monday, and then we went Wednesday, and that's what we used to do during the summer if we wasn't riding bikes and getting in trouble, which getting in trouble part was definitely something that we did a lot. So,
Bad boy Earn.
yeah.
What bad boy Token?
Token created token problems.
Alright, now it's
No, it's gonna you.
Alex, no, let's do yours first. Alex was a great story when he first told me this.
Oh no.
He thinks it's not great, but I like it.
You mean which one? With the Jim Lee story?
Or no, your history of it.
Oh God. Okay, so Alex, my name's Alex. So a lot of people know me as the comic book guy. A lot of my friends know me as that. I'm nowhere near a lot of other guys who know it, but I'm known for that.
You know a lot.
I know.
Let's just say that.
Yeah.
You know,
So back when I was a kid, animated series was always my thing. The animated stuff, Batman, Superman. My dad was like, watch it, and I watched it. The video games, movies, everything. Comic wise, I'll never forget. So back in college, my friends were big anime guys. We just did anime, and then one day, someone introduced us to comics. I wanted to fit in.
Yeah.
I wanted to fit in. I wanted to still be part of my friend group. So I go to the comic store. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I see, I didn't bring it with me, but the Green Lantern book for Sinestro, I just see the best cover in my life, and I love art. And I was like, whoa, okay. So I got it, I started collecting, and then all of a sudden I started like becoming a huge fan of it, to the point where I've been at Comic-Con, oh God, New York Comic-Con at least six times. And then I've been to a couple of small ones, but I got really into it, and now to the point where it's like I'm not as hardcore as I used to be.
Yeah.
To the point where I have stored stuff I couldn't bring back from Jersey.
Right.
Like I have so much stuff I couldn't bring. I brought only what I could with me, but I still get stuff to this day, graphic novels. But my story is I met some great people, which we could definitely go more in depth later. I think my favorite one, I told Dusty this, would I try to meet Jim Lee? Jim Lee is one of the best artists. I'm going to show this during as well, but he drew like a cover like this for Infinite Crisis. Great read. I'm going to be doing this during the whole show, by the way, just to let everyone know. Great guy, but when I actually said, hey, I'm going to message him on Facebook, I sent him a message. It was him because he was posting his artwork. He was posting live during Comic-Con. I said, hey, it was a pleasure. I would love it. It was a great meeting you. Big fan again. He read it, ignored me. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I'm not in his clique. I'm just a random fanboy. So
it's not just a random fanboy. It's like red flag because like think about it. He's famous.
I was young and stupid. Like I was just so young and stupid, and I was just like trying to be nice, thinking, hey, everyone else get lucky being a celebrity. What about me? And yet I look like a needy weirdo from one of my favorite artists ever, and I'm like, oh my God.
He definitely put you on a list.
Oh yeah, he probably blocked me, and like I didn't even say anything wrong. I just said something nice, and
You've been red nutted.
oh yeah. After all these years, I'm still.
If he replied, your next question definitely would have been, "Can we hang out sometime?"
Oh, I would have clicked my heels and been so happy, but like, yeah. But he read it, never responded, and I'm like,
Play it safe.
I'm saying shit. I'm like,
Yeah, just let it go.
but honestly, like I said, this has been like my first ever. Like his art was amazing. He's done a lot of covers for it. Infinite Crisis. If you just want to jump in and read like a chunk of stuff, this is a good read to bet.
Oh yeah.
One of the many surprises in the show.
Very dark one.
Oh,
All right. My comic book history, I would say, started like in the early 2000s, probably like 2005, 2006. My brother was part of a comic book store. Well, originally it was a comic book store called the Cheshire Cat. Then D&D started pushing through a whole lot more on Magic the Gathering, things like that, board games. So they turned the top floor back into like a board game-ish type of stuff.
yeah.
And then the basement is where they kept rows and rows of tables of comics. It was a dimly lit basement. I remember all the times I went there, I was the only one down there because everyone who went there went upstairs to play games.
Yeah.
They weren't into the comics no more. And I would just sit there and flip through the comic books, look at mostly covers. But the very, very first time I ever like actually held a comic book in hand and looked through it was the Death of Superman with Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved just the image, like just think of a child, the image in the backup thing of like Superman dying, they're holding his bloody cape and the American flags in the background.
Yeah.
That image is just locked inside my head.
It's actually one of the best images. Like not in a way, but like the passing, just like very heartfelt, very straight up. Like it was one of the darkest times. Like no one expected Superman to die.
Yeah.
Like he is the image. Well, him and Batman were the two images, but he was one. He was a symbol of good.
I remember the movie. Where the world tried to move on, even though Superman was no longer there, and Batman was trying to do whatever he possibly could, but he knew that he couldn't do it all, and he knew that Superman always was there, and being that Superman wasn't there anymore, all the weight was on him, and so someone came up with.
So led into the second one.
Yup. to revive Superman.
The Justice League from. We talking about the movie?
Yeah, the newest
The one.
ones.
Wow.
Batman vs Superman 1, and then
You mean the one that's like, hi, my mother's name is Martha, so is mine. Let's be friends. You mean that?
Now, what you need to do is, if you like that part, you need to watch the what's it? I'm trying to think. It's Dark Knight, isn't it? The
Oh, you mean? Oh God, I can do it. Hey,
Uh,
let me Dark Knight.
the
Give me have the Dark Knight.
No, the animated oldest Batman one where he's old Bat. It starts out with him and Commissioner Gordon. Well, first Batman's racing as an old man in futuristic Gotham.
Batman Beyond?
Yeah, I think is it?
Yes,
no,
yes.
No, it's not Batman Beyond.
I don't know.
Is that goes into Tracy's story? A Terry story.
Terry.
Now, this one is it's slipping my mind right now, but it's old Batman. He's seeing a Gotham run down without him inside of it. The gangs are running the streets now, and him
There's so
and
many
Commissioner
stories with
Gordon,
that though.
Commissioner Gordon's retiring.
Right.
Like it's literally his last conversation with them. He knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. He's known it
Right.
for a while now. They're
Yeah.
old friends and buddies. And then now, as Commissioner Gordon retires, old Batman is sitting in his like manor and he's just watching TV. And I think Alfred's done. He's like he stopped being Batman because he had a heart failure while a criminal was attacking a woman.
That sounds like Batman Beyond to me, because that's what happened to him. He's having heart issues.
Yeah, but that one goes into Batman Beyond. This one continues his story into Batman versus Superman. Now,
I think I know what you're talking about.
it's
Yes.
a very dark way. He
Yes,
pulls the
this is
gun
when
out
they're
on-
older and Superman's like the main hero. Yes.
He pulls out the gun on the villain and threatens him, and the villain like
There's a movie for it. I forgot the
drops
name.
and runs away. That's what I'm trying to think.
Part 1, Part 2.
Yeah, it's really great. But if you like that Batman series, I
Yeah.
suggest watching that one because that plays through Batman saving Gotham again and rallying the people back up, and then Superman comes down from DC because Superman's now a part of the government.
Yeah.
And by the way, Green Arrow's in it, but he has one arm.
Yeah, he tells Batman he got to stop or he's gonna have to intervene.
Exactly.
And
That's
Batman
what.
said, "Well, then we'll just be there when it happens."
And they're all older, by the way. So like Green Arrow still like, mind you, I don't want to spoil it, but he's in there. He's with Bruce. He's with Bruce Wayne, and that features this actually connected to the anime series. An episode.
Yeah.
There was an episode. This is where technically the sixth
The female, the little girl.
sixth Robin was in, and she was just there, but part of that series.
They used to like say they blast him or something like that, or it was they had weird slang of the whole gang, but there was a gang leader that was literally taking over the city, and Batman's like, well, I'm gonna put this guy down, and he it leads to the best moments at the end where he beats Superman in his like souped up soup, and he tells Superman, he goes, I want you to remember this moment. You weren't beaten by anybody. You were beaten by a mortal. You were beaten by me. At least around those quotes, because like, and then he just drops Superman, and then Batman has a heart attack, and then Superman registers that heart attack, and everyone.
I don't spoil it. They're spoiling the whole point.
Oh well.
Come on, man. I mean, shit, man. He's already gone. Let him
It's great. It's great. It's
It's a 2-part movie. It's actually a book too. The book was phenomenal.
It's amazing.
But it's a 2-part. It's on HBO Max. I'm telling you, everything's on HBO Max. Go on Google, look up DC animated movie list, follow the list order, and it'll tell you exactly what to watch.
That's a great one. It's like I think it's on HBO, isn't it? Yeah.
No.
Both part 1 and 2 was on.
Mhm.
go. Yeah, man.
really
you
worth
gotta send that shit to me.
Oh, I got you.
It's really
Oh,
good. Like
right.
if you like the movie at a fraction, this.
I mean,
one
the
you
art
can
was
fall in
very-
love with it.
The art to it was very.
Brutal. It's like it's the dark. It's
No, like the characterization, like they have like the chiseled,
The animated.
like they're very animated chiseled.
Yeah, it's
like, it's
it
very-
reminds me of the animated series back in the day.
Yeah,
that bad.
but a little more bigger,
Yeah.
but they're more bigger.
what's
But
up, man.
it's not bad. The comic book of it though was darker than the movie, like darker.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, comparing movies to the books, I mean,
See,
you can't.
Movies have to pander to the younger audience, and I understand that.
No. It's not about pandering to the younger audience. They've gone more in depth. Like there's a movie called Flashpoint.
Yeah.
The first
Oh, you're talking about the animated movies?
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm talking about live action.
No. Live action you have to.
Animated movies, yes.
Animated movies commit books.
Perfect.
Like they go perfect. Some of them you're just like what was it? The new the Infinite Crisis book I just showed. If you go in the Christ on Infinite Earths, It sucked. I'm sorry, but it was kind of cool seeing characters. But it just wasn't. A lot of people agreed there was no character build.
Yeah.
It was just slow.
Yeah.
But if you read the books, it's just so much difference.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, think of it this way. It's like if you read a book, like you read like I'm gonna throw this random, throw this our topic, Harry Potter. What's the difference? The book or the movie? They can't give everything from the book and the movie, but if they can make it work, they make it work, and that's what makes the tricks with animated movies. They can go above and beyond only certain limits.
Yep. But the animated movies also stay true to the better storytelling, I believe. I think animated movies are, of course, leaning towards the R rating than the live action.
I'll tell you this, especially DC, and we talked about this earlier, DC and Marvel's to Disney now. Marvel, that's why Deadpool's like...
That was the first one that was good that was released.
Disney.
For a while.
But here's the
That one,
Disney.
Loki was great, though.
But no, but Loki, the show was so... It was great. The point behind it was great. It just...
I left me off on a cliffhanger that was an end, but it would have been better if it was continued.
Yeah, because now Loki's like...
He's just the god of the time,
Time.
or whatever. But at the same time, they could do so much more with that. Like,
But that's why I told you in that Deadpool movie.
I'm a freak.
You were looking at certain... what?
I'm a freak out real quick. I feel like I'm going on a rant.
Uh-oh, the Dusty Rant time. Yes, Dusty Rant.
The Loki series had the perfect opportunity to bring him back into the MCU universe. Because one thing that I thought that it was going to do towards the end, when I realized, like, wait, this is the last series, they're not continuing this? Because this is gold. Like, what did Loki ask older Loki in season 1? He asked him, how did you fool Thanos? And he said, I did altercation or projection so realistic that it fooled the Mad Titan himself. We see Loki die in the main movie.
Mm-hmm.
We know the TVA can pluck people from certain points in time and put them back at the same thing, like time has never passed. That's what should have happened. Loki should have went through the whole series and everything like that, and then after the TVA's done with him, actually after he fixes the time war or like at least stabilize it, they're like, well, we got to get you back since your timeline still needs you. And they pluck him and put him back right where the Tesseract's at his feet.
Yep.
And then then that makes us think, wait, he's Loki that knows all the knowledge on how to stop Thanos now. And then now when we see him get killed by Thanos, it gives you that what if vision inside your head. Maybe he did a vision so good that the Mad Titan himself, he fooled the Mad Titan. And then that makes the story so much more, that adds more depth into all the sorrow that everyone felt. Loki's not dead, and if they follow that path, he just vanished and stayed away from that part, and he could come back. And that's a whole lot more stronger than them leaving off on what they thought.
Like him just in the whole controlling time, like he's just gone. Which if
you think about it, he could have been a anchor point, like they said in the series, in that timeline, because look what happened to Thor after Loki's death. Look what happened to Thor after Loki
eventually died like twice.
He
thought twice.
A midlife crisis.
Oh yeah. He thought well, mind you, he thought he died the first time.
Yeah.
In Thor 2. And then he thought he died. Then he saw him actually die in Avengers Infinity War.
He sent Thor.
And I think that was kind of brutal. I think that kind of was brutal that they killed him off in the first opening.
If Thor didn't go through that midlife crisis, he would have never lost the Powder and Mjolnir, and he would have never made the axe. Yeah. So those 2 points are 2 solid points in the timeline to argue that Loki is an anchor point in that timeline, because it leads to him creating a godlike weapon that helps one Captain America wield Mjolnir, and also leads into the Thor saga, which last Thor movie they could have done.
There's so many movies that we were just talking about too, like Spider-Man, all this. There's some movies that they should continue. Like I wish they didn't do Captain America on Valentine's Day. God. I'm like, why did they do it on Valentine's Day? Yeah. But you know,
because you love Marvel.
It's a love day.
Yeah. Yo,
that's something for everybody else that has no one else to go out and do.
Yo, to hear him bitch about this, that's what he's like. He's like, what should I do? Should I go to the movies and watch this? I really want to watch it.
I look right, like, yeah.
Or should I go to Hooters.
Actually, that's one thing is like when it comes to wings, I would say the best ones were either at Hooters, but it would hit early 2018.
Yeah.
That's probably they dropped off because all the prices started getting jacked up. But those are the best wings.
You had to bring that up.
Hey, come on, man. We're filming, man. It's not like he's not gonna edit this anyway.
I hope you do.
I mean, I can say this though. It's one thing that I actually love since like getting back into it and everything. And I mean, you know, it's just the part of my kidhood, my childhood that I didn't have a chance to, you know, enjoy at the time because I was in it at the time. I didn't realize.
Well, you were also in this. It was a starting age where they actually grow.
Yeah.
Like, remember, we were in the starting age when it was just certain movies that were like what they had back in the day, you know. But then it was that's all they had, and certain shows were very cheesy. I'm not gonna deny that.
Yeah.
But then that's what I said. Like certain shows were just but
yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like, you know, truth be told, it's like when I was a kid and like, you know, I always looked forward to this point in time because I knew what we were doing. I didn't know what we were doing any other time except for those 2 days. Those 2 days of the week, man, you know, we knew, hey, this is what we're doing. And then the rest of the week, man, we try to find whatever mischievous stuff that we can possibly get into and get away with. And that was pretty much it.
This reminds me of something too. Like back when I was a kid, I would read the comic books a lot. Now as an adult, I don't touch them. I literally keep them in their plastic.
Yeah,
I just look at the cover and look at the back.
that's why I get the graphic
Yeah,
novels.
that's what I said. Like when he gave me the comic the other day, and he they weren't in the sleeves, and I was thinking to myself,
Wait, there were sleeves?
Like no, the one that was already open. That it was just the Superman one that I told you.
Oh, the
that-
one with all the lists and like the
I
essence.
told you like I don't want to open this because it's already sealed. And I was like, but at the same time, it's not a canon issue. It's literally just an and the Fantastic Four one was so great. I went through that one too.
Oh, by the way, show what you have so we can release because this is like what you're talking about covers because you have this is what we mean.
This is the key thing about it. My favorite Batman cover, the best one.
Actually, it's amazing because if you see like Batman just like sweating, being the crap, and Joker just smiling, Robin's freaking out. Like it's actually perfect.
There was
The Star Wars one you showed before.
Star Wars.
This one's actually I think your Star Wars picks are amazing.
Because
Luke Skywalker with a red lightsaber, you see R2D2.
it's original. It's like literally before Star Wars became mainstream, they were going off of the novels that were to make these comic books. They weren't going off of no movies. The colors of lightsabers didn't happen until the movies.
Right.
They weren't really explained that much in the novels.
Yeah.
And that's why most of the comic books show Luke Skywalker with a
Red lightsaber.
Because when you think of laser, the first thing you're thinking of red.
Laser.
Yeah.
And then that's one reason why they put him out. And of course, look at him. He looks like a He-Man ripoff.
It does. It does, man.
Let me see,
Now
let me
that you
see.
mention it, if you look at it, he does look like He-Man.
Oh my gosh.
He does look like
Old
He-Man.
artists. for
I
some
have the
reason-
power.
Yeah, like Johnny Quest era for some odd reason.
Yo.
Oh.
They all
my parents, my family, my parents were big Johnny Quest. I remember I used to be terrified of some of those scenes, man.
I love
If
it.
you think about it, Johnny Quest
what-
was the original.
Yep.
It was the original like family hero, but they weren't here. They weren't like.
They tried to remake it in
superheroes.
the '90s, but the old ones, like I think my favorite because I just for
Let's all have
giggles.
cutoffs, so we're awkwardly looking off right here.
Exactly. I think my favorite will always be the one screaming, "No, I."
Oh,
And of course, these two issues are the best I say, because I was a big Hulk fan. We're just gonna let that one cut off for a little bit. But I was a big Hulk fan on this one. That it literally turns pretty much all of Marvel into Hulks.
You got to double back, and this is good artist too. This is the same artist that did Spider-Man, Spider Island. It's a very good series. But I like this because everyone's like, "What was the artist? The artist that did you know the artist name? I always forget.
No.
Oh, it's on-
Dude, right there.
Parker Ramos. That was it. Ramos. Very good artwork, and I like how they drew it. I don't know why they make Hawkeye look so grungy in this one, but
right.
he looks so grungy. But everyone else looks great in it, honestly.
and that's like issue 1 and issue 2 on it. Yeah, but at the same time, like, oh, what were you saying?
Oh, no, I was just going to let you know, just because you're a big Hulk fan, to all everyone who lives in North Carolina, Cary area, February 23rd, Robert Ruffalo, the first Hulk, is going to be signing at the Cary Comic Store Ultimates from 12 to 2. And I'm so going. I don't know if you want. I can definitely get you an autograph too, my friend. I'll give you an autograph. We live what? Like,
I'm gonna say
10 minutes?
I'm gonna say Mr. Universe. Is that you? I'm not gonna recognize him at all from the Hulk series.
No.
Recognize
He
him
was
from
in,
the bodybuilding
no.
series.
He was an Incredible Hulk though, but he had like one scene where you couldn't understand what he said as a security guard.
Yeah.
But the guy was great.
Lou
though.
Ferrigno is.
Lou Ferrigno, thank you.
He is.
Yep.
I'm not gonna recognize him from the Hulk series. I used to watch that too as a kid.
Oh yeah, man.
And I'm just gonna be
Hulk a lot.
like, are you Lou Ferrigno? And I'm just gonna pull
Now I'm
out
gonna
a bodybuilding Mr. Universe 19 blah blah blah, and I'm like, can you sign this for me?
Now-
He's gonna be so confused.
Now I have to get this guy to sign an autograph with the guy on February 23rd. Now I have to.
And then I'm gonna say,
I'm gonna be broke because of you, man.
I'm gonna look at him and say, I loved you in King of Queens. I loved you.
Throwing right in the nose, bro. Right in the nose. Why did you time that? You timed that on purpose. Oh, man. Right in the brain.
Just gonna recognize him from everything of his side character roles, and then he's gonna have like all his pictures of the Hulk back. I'm like, what's all this? Just point at like him being as the Incredible Hulk. Like, can you explain that to me a little bit? And it's like I just knew Lou Ferrigno was gonna be here. So,
Hey.
I said, and I.
Nah, man, I told you.
for like
Hey, look, he's a comedian by trade. You think he's not gonna sit here?
Oh, I know he's not.
And add all that shit.
I knew he was. I knew he was.
69ish now.
Yeah, but he still looks good for his age. I mean, jeez.
I'm gonna ask him to beat me up in the back.
I'm gonna have to say, well, you have the invite and everything. I'm not gonna watch. I'll be there with you, and I'm gonna stay right in front of him.
Can you punch me if I promise not to press charges?
If you go, I'm literally gonna tape this on the side, pretend I'm texting, and just to see his reaction, I will. And I'll say it. We're gonna put it on the show. We're gonna put it on the show because if he does do this, I'm going to cry.
He probably gonna get so excited he has a heart attack the minute he starts to throw it. Oh, there you go. Dusty killed a person by giving him an opportunity to punch him in the face. He was so excited, he went to heaven. Oh, I get the
my heart.
It's better when my friend
right
read those
now.
Clerks guys, and then
Oh,
the other one like literally say, "He's sober," and then you just get out of line. You just get out. Okay.
by far one of my favorite
Don't offer Jay from Jay and Silent Bob
Oh,
any beer.
we're gonna start with that. Wait, who did I tell the story to about when I met Silent Bob? Who did I tell the story to? One of you guys.
Me.
Oh Lord.
That's another good podcast for him. He's really good.
Oh, he's awesome. But here's the funny thing. You know what? Just for the show, for the first episode, this is a classic. It was my birthday. It was a birthday weekend. I went with some friends. We partied the night before. We're kind of exhausted. We were at Borgata, and I knew he was going to be there, but I don't know where anything is. All I know is a casino, the club, and food. I don't know any of the halls. So we're going down the elevator. I forgot what we're probably going to do a gamble. There he is. The elevator opens wide open. He's in Silent Bob gear. Hair down, the coat, the backwards. I was so hungover. I said, "Sup?" He's like, "Sup?" And then my friend didn't even realize, like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Sup?" And I'm having a fanboy moment. And I'm like, I should ask him, like, it's actually my birthday. Like, I'm about to show my ID to tell him the truth. But I'm like, this guy wants to go in the elevator. He probably wants to go in his room. He's got his bag. And I'm like, my friend's like not even realizing it. He's like, wait, who was that guy again? I'm like,
Silent Bob. What
it was Silent Bob, bro.
It's because he talked. He didn't recognize him.
No, but I literally choked. And I'm like,
I don't give a fuck.
well, no, I'm hungover. I'm not thinking at the time. And I'm like, what do I do?
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I watch, when he actually, him and Jay in the movie, he never said anything. But when he does say something,
Yes.
it's perfect.
Oh, he's great.
It's perfect timing every time.
Oh my gosh.
Because didn't he write
He does so much. He has his own
Forgetting
story.
Sarah or something?
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yes. I think he wrote
Yep.
that one.
He actually owns his own store in Big New Jersey. They moved it, but he does own it. I mean, they sold so much merch for Clerks there, it's ridiculous. But he's actually guest starred on the animated Teen Titans, the second one. What's it called? Teen Titans Judas Contract.
Yeah.
He was in it for a little bit, podcasting Beast Boy. It was kind of cool because they had him actually looking like him and everything. It was actually good.
Yeah, those are the good ones.
You know, man, I'm telling you that, you know, the Clerks, and then one of my favorite movies of all time is Mallrats. I love Mallrats.
Mallrats.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that. You know what's funny about the Clerks? It was filmed like 3 towns away from me. Because I knew when they showed the opening, I'm like seeing McDonald's and Pizza Hut. I'm like, hey, I know that area. That's my. And then they brought up Brookdale, graduate of 08, baby. That's and they got who did it, but they got a diploma the year before me, and I'm like, damn it, I could have met them at my graduation, but I graduated a year later, and I'm like, oh, that would have been amazing. They brought up Brookdale. I was like, I went to Brookdale. I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, Brookdale.
I can only imagine. Unless you've been to New Jersey, the next street is another town. I mean, it's the craziest place I've ever. I mean,
We're gonna start with my hometown. Like, we're gonna.
Like, where do you live? I live here.
I live here, but here's over here. You pass a step over, you're in the next
I'm like,
town.
wait a minute. It's another town? Yeah.
It is.
But in the next block? Yes, it's the next block. I'm like, what the Oh my god.
The beaches. You're in this beach. Okay, you pass the line. You're in this beach.
All right.
That's Jersey. Love New Jersey.
All right. So, in terms, I think we got lost because we started talking about certain things. But what did you say? You started with something and then you stopped. Did you?
The Hulk series.
Yeah, because that probably.
I was talking about how they ruined Hulk, and like, it's just like they need to go back to the Hulk in the first 2 movies. I know it was different characters as the main role, but
Which movies?
The very first ones, the live action ones that we
The
saw.
the Incredibles is my favorite. The other one was very. I think I know what you're talking about. But it's based in San Diego.
Yeah, and then where they kind of like see. There's another thing like. They follow the villain's character because you gotta think it's Abomination.
He was incredible. He was incredible.
And is he in She-Hulk?
Yeah.
And then he was a villain for Hulk 2, which had a different.
Well, technically they don't count as Hulk 2. They just had it as separate because the first one did not count with the Marvel Cinematic.
That's what really doesn't make sense because the Hulk storyline is so convoluted that they need to just revamp it and start it back over.
Well, now because they have different actors, the point behind it, but they try to keep it connected with the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
And it was all, certain actors not because of money and things like that, but
Trash it and throw it away.
well, now it's too far in. It's too far deep. It's too far deep.
They did it with Spider-Man and Batman 900 times. We need to just get another.
Yeah, but now it's all cinematic. That's the thing. It's a universe. Like DC, they did it, but they try to connect a
I
universe.
hate that. I understand it because they put a lot of money into doing these tiny little details throughout of it, trying to make it into a web instead of just like separate things. But at the same time, we need to have off story with is it like Mark Ruffalo or how do you say his last name? We need to have a
Ferrigno?
No. Mark, he was the Hulk.
He's the new Hulk, pretty much.
The first new Hulk.
Yeah, we need to have his story and be a standalone movie. Yeah,
Buffalo.
and we need to have a standalone movie with just him becoming the Hulk.
But
That's what we need.
Yeah, he played a good Bruce Banner. I'm not gonna deny that.
If we have that, then that can fix the old Hulk trash, and then you could bring that other villain into it and have him enter in the first movie with him, because then you're like, okay, now this makes sense instead of just pulling a villain from another movie and putting him in this movie and saying, oh, here we go, it's the same people. We need to have some type of connection with the new world, because like and it needs to be
Is there actually a movie that shows how
no
Hulk became the Hulk?
Yeah.
not in the new universe.
No, no, Incredible Hulk. They showed the opening when he was in the gamma rays and everything. Yeah,
It wasn't.
it wasn't the actual how he did it in comics. It was a different way they did, because in the comics it was an explosion and he was saving. I forgot the guy's name already, but he saved somebody from it. But in the movie, he was actually tested.
Are you talking about like Mark as?
Yeah.
They have a movie about that. I'm
It's in
blanking right now.
double check Incredible Hulk. It's in the opening when they show him in the test subject room getting tested to get the powers.
I gotta look this up.
Yeah, double check it.
'Cause I could have swore that this Hulk started with
Not the bomb.
Avengers.
No.
Could've sworn.
They're connected because at the end you see Tony Stark talking to the general. At the end, that connects to it because remember Mark left,
Oh, yeah.
and they added another Hulk
I
that
see
was
now.
jumped into
When
the
you
Avengers.
brought Tony talk to the general and
Yep.
gets me now.
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes sense now. But still, they need to redo it because I forgot it. 'Cause that tells you how great.
It's been that long.
That tells you how great it was. They need to redo it. If I forgot it.
Yeah, and see, but that's also the reason why I asked, because I know, because in terms of the whole Captain America thing, in terms of how Captain America was created, and I know that when Captain America was lost, when they couldn't find him.
That was a cool. I like how they connected that. That was, I mean, I wish the one thing I wish they did was make Bucky a kid.
Yeah, that would have been better.
I mean, that's the one thing they could have relayed to the show because he got older.
And it would have made it like his. It would have had it more depth to it because instead of Bucky being this cool guy that beat up people for Captain America when he was weak, and they could have had it as Bucky be a fanboy
Yeah.
that followed Captain America around,
Yeah.
to where Bucky was that skinny kid that that's why Captain America liked him so much because it reminded him of his original self.
Yeah.
And then if we would have saw like that child be made into a sleeper agent and get the Bucky we had today, I still wish that we had a more like golden age Bucky, like you were saying, because the introduction from that, it would have been better for it's like I did like the Captain America one. That was a good movie, but I think they could have tweaked it a little bit better to show more depth on when Bucky came into the second one, because that would have been more heartbreaking.
Yeah. That would have been more. I mean, right now, like, I could say this, because I'll just say this part, that with the movies, I like how they could do what they could do. I just sometimes wish they stuck with the somewhat in the comic side a little bit.
Yeah.
But I get where they want to make it. It's movies, you know. They have to make it more exciting and out there. And I think that was what was needed to be done.
Yeah.
So, and I think like the building the Avengers was perfect. I think the building of certain characters that led to it, like the connections of the movies, was perfect. I really can't say. I mean, some movies people can have their comments, but it all fits together.
Yeah.
So you know, it answers a lot of questions building characters for future movies.
Yeah.
Like Thunderbolts coming up, like that builds up to something that I think is going to be better. I'm just gonna say we're gonna make it. So why don't you? Because you know mine are gonna be good. Why don't you start your question first?
I'm gonna start with this one. This one for you and him.
Okay.
Can you name me Batman's only superpower? This is the
Deduction.
hard one. This is a hard one. I'll give you a point for deduction.
Reading lips. Martial arts.
It's his only unique superpower that only he has it.
Deduction. I know I said that already, but
You'll like this one.
all right. I actually that's all I got. I don't ever heard of this.
You think of anything, Ernest? I see the gears rolling over
Yeah, you smell that smoke.
there.
I would say tactism, like I know skill, but not actual superpowers.
No, but he says super.
Yeah.
Well, it's his only superpower.
Money.
If that, Elon Musk is a superhero.
No, so is Tony Stark, a billionaire playboy. I'm about to say I have no idea. And what's gonna be probably the most simplest thing.
I don't know if it's relatability or his smarts, but that's not a superpower. I got nothing, man.
I got you. He's immortal. And hear me out. Because Bruce Wayne can die.
But a symbol of
But
that's a trick
Batman
question.
Cannot die.
Batman cannot die.
Someone will always
Ooh,
rise
to the
position.
occasion.
Yeah.
Yes. Terry McGinnis,
Yeah.
Dick Grayson.
Batman cannot die, and that's what makes him so scary. Because they even wrote comics about this, to where
He's right.
Mr. Freeze freezes himself to outlive Batman, and then when he thaws out, it's a futuristic Gotham, and then he sees a bunch of Batman around.
Yeah.
And it's because Batman left a contingency program in his Batcave,
For when he
binary
dies.
code that downloads his personality, and there's still a Batman. And it freaks
If we're,
Mr. Freeze
if we're
out.
doing Batman questions, I got a ton right now.
No,
You want to?
see? That's
That was evil. That was evil.
no,
That was evil.
No, that was yo.
That was evil. Like evil
Man,
good.
truth
Evil
be
good.
told,
Evil good. Like that was like
But
I
you-
would not have thought that.
But
Bat
you know
family
what, though?
always comes in the.
But that's fucking dope though, because here's the thing. Because to the average person who doesn't know, because I'm the average Joe, I'm telling you, okay, whatever. I would have instantly went to actual
Powers. So
Yeah,
was I. So
right.
was I. I wasn't thinking that myself.
versus an actual way of life or way of living in terms of passing something down from me who is not existing anymore to someone else, right?
Yeah.
And give them this is the instruction, this is the code for you to be me, even though I'm no longer here,
Yeah.
right? Type of thing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't fucking think about that.
This is
How many people does?
Another thing that I thought about too is Terry is technically Bruce Wayne again.
You watched Justice League Unlimited. That's why you know it.
That one.
That's a good. That's the last episode, the final season, Justice League Unlimited. Watch it. It is so good. It is so good. That was like the best episode I've ever seen,
Yeah.
and that's why I brought up Amanda Waller too. Amanda Waller was so. There was a joke in there that kids would not understand, and that Amanda brought. It's like that's not what I meant about his DNA. I literally cried. I was like, oh my
You know
gosh.
what? You know what? I just had an epiphany,
Hmm?
right? So each podcast, we should have a list of what Token should watch.
Oh, I already have a list for you.
That's a good one.
I do. That was going to be my project to you.
Yeah. So I mean, I would like that because
Oh yeah.
when it comes down to it, the more that we do this.
Oh, I got it. I got him set. Don't worry. I got
So starting from Genesis, right,
Mhm.
beginning into whenever, you get to see the difference in terms of knowledge base from the beginning to whenever, right?
Yep.
So when it comes down to it, instead of me being this
Blah guy.
this blank guy.
Well, but that's where we're having fun.
Start-
That's where we're having fun in the first episode because this is what we're going to test you, and then we're going to send you a little homework every month because you'll have a month to catch up.
That's fun. It
You have a
works.
month.
It works.
Now the extremely hard questions. When he gave me the taste of these, I had trouble with them. So
Okay,
Come
wait.
on,
So do me a favor.
otherwise, there's only Alejandro's questions.
Oh no, that's Alejandro. But I didn't give you
I
that.
don't know yours. Though.
Oh no, his are still worse. So and I gave you. So next question. Since we did talk about, we're going to talk about certain things we talked about today.
Mm-hmm.
From the Fantastic Four, I gave you one of the answers. There are three superheroes that are in movies that have been part of the Fantastic Four. What three heroes in movies and TV series, I'm talking about live action, by the way, have been in the Fantastic Four? And you know one of them because I gave you a while back.
Yeah, I got this one wrong.
3 characters.
Yes, that are in movies. Well, technically 4, but I'll give you a break. 3. I'll give you three of them.
I know the one guy. I can't think of his.
How can you not? We talked about this. We just talked about this.
Wait a minute.
He didn't know it was gonna be a question on it. That's why.
And I literally give him the answer.
Shit.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Just throw a name.
One.
Out. Throw a name out.
Power Man.
Power Man.
Luke Cage.
Shut the fuck up.
He was in Fantastic Four, Storm, Black Panther, and Ant-Man, Scott Lang.
I know, right? That's what I said. I
Yep.
know, right? I could. when you
So
asked it to me, I knew.
Power Man, I don't know the issue, I just know the history. But I did see Storm and Black Panther when they were married. They were married, by the way. They were.
Makes sense.
Storm and Black Panther.
Makes sense.
They were married for a while. They got divorced, but they were married for a while.
Imagine that fucking kid.
They did have a son, but that's another different universe. But they had one, and it was shown in World War Hulk when they showed him fighting with the Fantastic Four against Hulk, and then Ant-Man. He was also an earlier issue, but they showed it like him with the Fantastic Four, but he was like a filler. So, and then you have She-Hulk, so technically 5, but I'm not counting She-Hulk. But She-Hulk was number 5, so technically 5 people.
All right.
But there's more. There's others, but they're like side, like in the books, like, you know. But I'm talking about like animated, like movies, things like that.
All right. Man.
So that's one.
Yeah.
So the next one, we talked about Batman. How many Jokers were there in Batman?
Oh, I got this one.
You know this because of the comics. I know you.
How many Jokers?
Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about people putting on makeup. I'm talking about Jokers. And I'm going to give you a little one. It was in the comics, but they made a series, and it was a number.
And also, when he sat on the chair, he got they believe that he got the answer.
Yep. That was also in another one. I should have brought that book, but I
That's a
didn't.
good one. He solved all crime in Gotham within like 90
So
minutes.
this one's a hard one, so I'll give you the answer to this because you're really thinking of it. There's 3.
Yep.
There was one that was based with Bruce Wayne. There was another one that killed Jason Todd, and the other one was the one that shot Barbara Gordon, causing her to be paralyzed for a while. So 3 Jokers, where he couldn't figure out who they were. He just knew
And
there were 3.
They haven't elaborated on it either.
They really haven't.
Really
They just kind of said it, and they made a series for it, which was actually really good. Because you got if you got the comics for it, you got cards with it, like playing cards. It was actually really cool. And there was 3 Jokers.
Yeah, I'm glad you gave me that answer because I was stuck between 1 and 2.
Oh no, there's 3, and the only one that survived, I think it was the Barbara Gordon one, the most brutal one. I think out of the 3 survived because Jason killed one, and that Joker killed Bruce Wayne's one.
All right, let's give him an easier one now.
All right, this one's easy. Everyone knows this. Who killed the Wayne family? Who shot the Wayne family in the in Crime Alley?
God, it's such a corny name.
Even though in the movie
I'll
they
give him a hint.
okay, go ahead,
All
Mark.
right, refrigerator
Refrigerator.
and
Mr. Freeze?
No.
Refrigerator and
Think of it as a name, like a last name. Oh yeah, we have to give him a homework assignment.
Yeah.
10.
Just go ahead and tell me.
Joe Chill.
Joe Chill.
I said it's a corny name.
Joe Chill. He literally shot the Waynes, and he was known for a while as the one who killed the Wayne family. I still forgot the purpose, like if he was just a hired thug for it. I forgot the reason, but that was his name, Joe Chill.
Right.
Oh, wait till you.
I'm gonna give you an easy one now. Is this DC or Marvel? Hawkman.
DC.
All right. Is this DC or Marvel? Let's think. What's this called? I just
The Atom.
Yeah, the Atom. That's a good one.
Marvel.
No,
No, DC.
DC.
DC. The Atom is DC.
All right, keep
Is
going.
this DC or Marvel? I'm gonna say no. That's too easy. Angel.
I don't know that one.
DC.
Oh,
No.
That's
Marvel.
Marvel.
Yep.
Okay.
DC or Marvel? Dr. Fate.
And I'll give you a hint. They made a movie. He was in a movie. Current movie. Maybe a couple years.
Yeah, a couple years.
Couple years.
Marvel.
DC.
DC.
He was in the Black Adam
Black
movie.
Adam movie.
Played by 007.
Yeah. Which they ruined him.
No, yeah, they did. But no, he had the character.
It's
Yeah.
he's a godlike being.
But yeah, but I'm talking about the guy who played him though. And
Like,
like,
the guy played him good, but
Yes.
right when they took his helmet off, I was like, "Oh my god, we got another Doctor, we got another Dread." Oh, another thing, DC or Marvel? Dread.
Ooh.
You said Dredd?
Yeah.
Yep. Judge Dredd.
DC.
Marvel. So I'm gonna tell you this, and this is what I think people should read. We're gonna give you homework. We're gonna give you homework because next week this is something called Young Justice. This is on HBO Max. It's a little different than the book, but I'll say it's a good read. This is just pretty much the young, not like the Teen Titans, but the young version. Definitely a read for you. And this is just something that I will say is actually, if you want to see Dark Side. Sorry, I got too many. Dark Side with the Green Lantern ring. Excellent read. And just for a little history, you can get this on go to stores. There's about 7 different books, not just the Fantastic Four. Definitely a worthwhile read if you want vintage history.
Just the cover looks beautiful.
The cover is excellent. You should see the Avengers. I have the Avengers, Spider-Man, X-Men. They also have a Captain America and Black Panther one.
You did spend some money on that.
I got this as a gift.
You got that as a gift?
Yes, sir.
Looks nice, dude.
Dude.
Oh,
like the thing in the corner right there.
the thing in the corner. This shows everything, like how the thing was drawn so rocky.
Looks like a palette.
Which, by the way, this will be a topic when it comes out. I'm actually excited for the movie coming out.
Okay, and then the basis of their powers is really good too, because their DNA was spliced with alien pretty much. So their powers.
Well, they said it was mostly like elements too: fire, air, water, and earth.
Well, we know the Thing race is actually on the Hulk, Planet Hulk. That creature that was on a Planet Hulk, it was literally a Thing creature.
Yeah.
Like they didn't really push for him to that.
Well, they there was one that they did push in the Thor movie that was like that, but
we need a Beta Rose Bill at the movie.
Oh yeah. Well, they have him in Avengers, the DC, the old Avengers show. That was actually really good, by the way. So we'll go more into that next time because I feel like that's what I'm going to say is next week we're going to have a definite talk about movies. And next week we actually have another guest hopefully coming next week where Token's actually going to test his knowledge with this person.
Oh, you talking about Alejandro?
Yep. We're going to have a good test with him.
Yeah.
And then we'll have more stuff for watching.
Next month.
Next episode.
Yeah, next episode.
That's what I said, next episode.
Oh, you said next week.
No, next episode. So we're going to have that, and hopefully we have more people tuning in, and, we have this going.
All right. This is the end, I guess. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed everything. And also, if we made anything wrong, definitely correct us. We would love to argue with you in the comments.
And then we'll also, if you have topics for us, let us know. We'll definitely put it in. And if you have questions to ask Token, please just message us on the side because he will have no idea.
If you haven't yet, I'll link it in the chat. But we're gonna link the Facebook page, and you just message the moderator on there. It's gonna be me, Alex. Do not message him the questions because that's cheating.
We'll make sure that
if you message us the questions, just send the question. We'll do the research on it to get the answers. And also, if you want to send us the answers too, just to kind of compare on if you're right or wrong. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and